Welcome, 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 everybody. I'm Sorrell, plant spirit medicine woman. I'm a medical herbalist, a cacaoista, a shamanic healer, and a teacher. And I want to guide you today on a journey with Mama Cacao to meet the spirit of the goddess Cailleach. Cailleach is a Celtic goddess, and she's attributed with the creation of the landscapes of the British Isles. I personally wanted to do a journey with her because I struggle with this time of year, the wintering time of year. And I'm also just moving into menopause officially, not having bled for an entire year now because I'm 50 years old and I'm loving every second of it. And so I wanted to connect with her as she's also associated with the winter. The goddess Bridget is associated with the spring and the summer, and Cailleach is associated with the winter and the autumn. And to connect with her as I'm entering into the winter phase of my own lifetime as well, to see what wisdom she has to offer and to see if she can show me anything about myself to help me to... We all have blind spots, and sometimes when we journey to connect with these spiritual archetypes, the consciousness of these archetypes, then we can learn something about ourselves on reflection. And we're going to do that within the framework of a cacao ceremony and with the beautiful gongs to assist us to go into the deep trance state, the deep meditative state, to journey with Cailleach. Journeying is a shamanic process where we connect into the spirit realm using our imagination. I'm going to guide you through all of these different things stage by stage. I hope in preparation that you already have a couple of things in place. Most important, you have your cacao ready. And if you have already drunk your cacao, that's okay. I would invite you, if you haven't drunk your cacao, to invoke the 7 directions with your cacao as an offering to the 7 directions when we're calling in our sacred space. We call in sacred space to protect ourselves and to also facilitate the ceremonial receiving space. When we create a ceremony, it's like Brooke Medicine Eagle once taught me that it's like creating a bowl to receive the wisdom into, or the blessing or the healing within to that we're calling out for from spirit. And so we do that with our cacao in a moment. The other thing that I'd like you to have ready is your space. So you might want to light a candle to set up that feeling of calling in the light. You might want to also have a good set of speakers or headphones, because the gongs will sound so much better if you have a good sound system that you can connect into. And headphones are good enough. Good quality speakers are more variable in what they deliver. When we are relaxing, it's lovely if you can have a nice setup to be supported sitting, if you prefer to sit up because it stops you going to sleep during these journeys, or lie down. Or if you don't mind falling asleep and just allowing the subconscious to do the processing for you, that's all good too. Have a comfortable setup, have your cup of cacao, and maybe something like a little mini altar. Just a simple candle will do if you want to. So to begin with, we always cleanse our energy. And as we're cleansing our energy, we are cleansing 3 layers of energy. This is a technique that was taught to me by the Quiro shamans of the high Andes in Peru. And so the first thing we do is we cleanse the outer layer of our aura, or our pokpo. It's a beautiful word. I love the word pokpo. It's a bit like poncho. And we cleanse the outside layer of our energy field with our hands, and that is a protective shield. So anything that's been projected onto you during your life or just during the day will be stuck to that energy field. If it gets deeper, then it gets to the next layer, which is the emotional layer, and that's when we feel more emotionally triggered. If it gets into the next layer, that's when things get super deep. Maybe they're attached to a story that you've already got going on within you. Maybe there's an epigenetic wound that you're not aware of, but something triggers it and deep into the cells of the body. And that can trigger experiences like heartache, or the anxiety that gets into the gut, all the different types of physical, psychological scenarios that we might have, feelings within the body. So we're going to cleanse ourselves using our hands and using the energy that flows through our heart chakra. Our heart chakra is a portal for love and for light. And we can open it up and we can allow it to flow. And so let's take our hands to gather some of that energy now, and we'll do this cleansing process together in preparation to receive the medicine of Mama Cacao and the journey itself. So taking your hands in front of your heart, I like to cup them so there's space for the energy to come into. It's a little bit like prayer position, but slightly different. Imagine the portal of your heart chakra opening up and flowing love and light like a fountain, pouring abundant love and light into this space. I like to see it as a pink colour. You might have another colour that you like. And then I scoop the energy up and we gather it and we take it over the top of our heads and we open up to the universe, and the universe shares its love and light with us too. So we're sharing our love and light with the universe, giving gratitude. It's always good to be grateful at the beginning and at the end of everything we do. And then we also allow ourselves to receive the love and light of the universe. Then when we feel like our cup is overflowing, we gather that energy and we pour it over and cleanse the outside of our pokbo, our energy field, all the way down to the ground. And we give it to Mother Earth. If for any reason you have a sore back or you can't quite touch the ground today, then you can just shake your hands, stamp your feet, releasing that energy into the earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for taking that energy off us. And she composts it and turns it into nourishing energy again, the same way as she composts our banana skins and turns it into nourishing food for the worms and for the plants in our gardens. Now we're going to do the next layer, hands in front of the heart, gather that energy, scoop it up over the top of the head, opening up to the universe, bringing that love and light in from the universe and all the way through the emotional layer between the skin and the outside of your bubble, all the way down to the ground, cleansing any energy which you don't want in your system anymore. Thank you very much for taking that away, giving it to the earth, shaking your hands, shaking your feet. Thank you, Mama. Coming back to the heart, and we'll do the final layer, the physical layer. We want to gather love and light from our heart and scoop it up over the top of our head, opening up to the universe. And now bringing that energy in all the way down through the physical layers of the body, all the way down till we get down to the ground. Cleansing the meridians, cleansing the chakras, cleansing the cells and the spaces in between, giving it to the earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for taking all that energy away that I don't need. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May we all be released from anything which is holding us back from being our best selves today. Okay, so now we're clean. What we want to do next is to call in the sacred 7 directions. And I will guide you through this process and you can just follow with me. If you have a cup of cacao, mine is already drunk, so don't worry if you have too. I drink my cacao before our ceremony simply because I need to focus on talking to you and holding space for you. And so I'm going to hold my cacao facing the east, which is where the sun rises, which is where all things begin. And that's why I like to begin in the east direction. Different shamans will begin in a different direction, and sometimes a different ceremony will call for you to open in a different direction as well. But today I want to begin in the east. So I'm going to turn my back on you for a second, and we hold our cup up into the air in the direction of the east, and we welcome our friends in the east. Beloved spirits of the east, we welcome you. We welcome the dawn, the rising sun. We welcome the element of fire, new beginnings, the new day. And we welcome the spirit of condor and eagle who help us to fly high and see with clarity. Keep us under your wing and protect us on our journey today and help us to see what we need to see. Beloved ones, we welcome you and share our cacao with you. Aho! And now we turn to the south direction. And we call upon the spirits of the south. We call upon the water, the flow of life, the day and the warmth of the sun. We call upon the spirit of Snake. Snake teaches us how to shed the past, the way that she sheds her skin, to feel ourselves connecting to Mother Earth, heartbeat to heartbeat, the way that she does, because every day, the way that she moves on the ground, her heartbeat is directly in connection with Mother Earth. So we welcome those teachings and we share our cacao with you today, spirits of the south. Aho. Connecting in with our friends in the west, we welcome you. We welcome the dusk and the setting sun. And we welcome the earth and the fertility of life. And we welcome Jaguar. Jaguar is the archetypal energy that helps us to step into our power as brave warriors or warrioresses, to stalk our own shadow, to search for those blind spots, those parts of us which we are not seeing, so that we can become the best versions of ourselves. Please guide us, Mama Jaguar, on this journey today, protecting our medicine space, helping us to be brave, helping us to face what may be difficult for us to face within ourselves, and bringing ourselves back into the light for healing and integration. We welcome you and we share our cacao with you. Aho. Now we turn to the north direction. Now this is the direction I feel most connected to Cailleach in as well. So in this direction, I'd like to welcome the north. I'd like to welcome the night and the bright moon shining, the air and clarity of thought, our ancestors, Hummingbird. Hummingbird teaches us to trust the path. Hummingbird is a migratory bird who flies all the way from Brazil to Canada and back again every year. And she teaches us to trust the path, even though we have no idea what's coming around the next corner. I also want to welcome in the spirit of Cailleach in this direction, because she represents the north and the energy of the winter time. So we welcome you, Cailleach, and we share our cacao with you, all beloved spirits in the north. Aho. And now we've done the 4 directions in the horizontal plane. We want to come down and connect with the directions beneath us. So I like to squat down and touch the earth, and it makes me feel more humble and remember my place. So, Mama Earth, we welcome you. And we thank you for this amazing offering of cacao that you're sharing with us today. And we want to share it with you too. We thank you for all our relations on earth, the plant people, the stone people, the animals, the furry, feathered and fin ones, the creepy, crawly ones, the slithery, slimy ones. We welcome them all. We even welcome in the viruses, the bacteria, and our friends, the mushrooms. Now, all of these beings are essential for life on earth, are essential for the harmony of our earth. And we welcome you all, and we ask that we can learn from you how to be in harmony, how we can all be healthy and harmonious and at one with each other. We welcome you and share our cacao. Aho. Now I'd like to stand up to connect with the upper realms. First of all, connecting with Father Sky. Father Sky, we thank you for wrapping your loving arms around us and around Mother Earth and all of her children, for creating this atmosphere of protection that protects us from the void of space. Thank you for the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies and the grey. We share our cacao with you. Aho. We also welcome in, I'm going to spin round to connect with the cosmos. We connect in and welcome Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, the star nations and all of our cosmic realm relations. We welcome you. And last, we connect in. Oh, thank you. I'm sharing my cacao with the cosmic realm too. There you go, guys. A bit of cacao for you all. Lastly, connecting in with Great Spirit. Great Spirit, we welcome you. Great Spirit, you represent the creative force that flows through all that is. And we welcome you to this space today to help us with our ceremony of connection to Cailleach. We welcome you and offer our cacao to you. Thank you. Aho. And now it's time, if you haven't already drunk your cacao, to sip on your cacao. Now I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes while you're doing that, so that you can understand the process that we're going to go through to encourage your trance state to deepen enough so that you can perceive this energy of Cailleach today. So Cailleach, the story of Cailleach herself, we've discussed her a little bit, and she is in every single one of us. As we journey through life, we all have those phases in our life of feeling like we want to retreat, we want to winter. But Cailleach is actually a powerful goddess of creation as well. So there are many elements within Cailleach that we also have within ourselves. So each of you individually may have a very, very different journey when you connect with her, depending on the information that is right for you at this time in your life. To guide you on that journey, I'll be working with the gongs, but also I'll be guiding you on a traditional shamanic journey. Now, in the shamanic way of seeing, there are 3 layers of reality. There are other definitions. Some Celtic traditions talk about 9 layers, but let's keep life simple and let's work with the 3 today in the Mayan way of seeing. And the majority of the work that we do, because we're working with cacao, which is a Mayan medicine, we work within the Mayan medicine wheel story. But I do like to weave in different elements from different traditions as well. And so do the Mayans. They're very happy to invoke Hindu gods or goddesses, for example, within their ceremonial circles. Why not? And we will be journeying together through our imagination. So we'll be closing our eyes, and I'll be inviting you to relax into your body. Then I'll be inviting you to tune into your conscious energy in your third eye space. So our third eye space is believed to be connecting through the pineal gland, which is right in the center of the mind, behind the eyes, between the ears, right in the middle. And then we connect in with that, just visually imagining that there's a little white light turning on in there. And we allow that white light to expand all the way out and then all the way back again, just so it's a tiny little white light again, so that we're awakening it, we're giving it a chance to expand and wake up. Then we're going to send it on its journey. And I like to guide you on a journey in a certain way where we're leaving our consciousness from this point, and it's connected through a silver thread, and it comes out through the top of the head. At that point, it starts turning a little bit Tinkerbell the fairy. And so it flies from your headspace out into nature. So these 3 layers of reality we need to remember. We are currently living in the middle realm. The lower realm also represents our inner realm, our consciousness that's available to us this lifetime. The upper realm is the higher consciousness, the infinite soul. So for this lifetime's journey, we're going within, we're connecting with our own consciousness this lifetime to see what we need to explore and work with now. So we'll be going into the lower realm for that reason. So this little fairy light that's left our being, physical being, and is on a journey, is journeying to a place in nature in this realm, in the middle realm. So you might just want to pop out to your garden. You might want to, because we'll be journeying down a hole a bit, and then it goes a bit Alice in Wonderland. We'll be journeying down a hole and into the lower realm. Or you might want to go to a forest that you love, a particular tree that you have an affinity with. You might want to go to a cave. I live near a beach, and there are caves in the rocks in the beach I could go into and imagine that I was journeying through those caves. You might want to imagine that there's a door in a tree. It really doesn't matter. Some people also feel very connected to the water element, and so they like to go to a body of water and dive down like a mermaid into the ocean or into a pool of water, and then they'll come out into a cave, into the lower realm. However you want to go, it's absolutely fine. And when I ask you to imagine and visualize, I want you to know it's absolutely fine if you're not a very visual person, if you don't visualize very well. A lot of people don't. And this is the main problem or complaint or concern that people come with when they work with me in shamanism, that they don't think they can do it because they're not very visual people. But actually, most people aren't very visual. Some people are very kinesthetic, so we have more of a sensory perception of what's going on around us. So when I ask you to remember something, you might remember a taste or a smell or a sensation rather than the visual image of something. So however you're connecting is absolutely fine. And if it's just like you're listening to a story on the radio kind of thing, when your eyes are shut and it's going in one ear and it's flowing through and out the other, that's absolutely okay, whatever works for you. When we are in that place in nature, we're going to dive down through a tunnel or go through a door or in through a lake, however you're going, and we're going to come out into the lower realm landscape. The lower realm appears like an unspoilt landscape. And when we get there, we'll be calling for not just to meet Cailleach, but whenever we go to the lower realm, it's good to have a guide. And the best guides in the lower realm are the animal spirits. So we'll be calling for an animal spirit to come and guide you to meet the spirit of the goddess Cailleach. So the animal guide will come first. We'll spend a little time connecting with that animal guide, and that animal guide will also give you information and maybe some healing, maybe some wisdom. Then we will go on a wander within that landscape to meet Cailleach. When I journeyed to meet Cailleach, she appeared to me like a ginormous being. She was as big as a mountain when I met her, and she was looking down at me like a tiny little fragile butterfly. However, when you meet Cailleach, she may appear to you very differently. She may appear in human form. She may appear like a tiny flame of light. When I met Mama Cacao, she appeared to me like a purple flame of light in this kind of like shape. Yeah, there are so many different ways Cailleach could appear to you. So just be completely open-minded as to what comes through. The best way to tune into this is asking. Just ask, are you the spirit of Cailleach? There is a rule of 3 in shamanism. If you ask 3 times, then the truth comes through on the third answer, and they can't hide the truth on the third answer. So if you're ever unsure if something's okay or not okay to be working with, just check in and just ask 3 times, and you'll get your answer. So this is everything you need to know to begin. I believe you will have drunk your cacao by now. And if not, then you can either pause the video. Even if you're live, joining us live, you can still pause the video and wait till you've drunk your cacao before you go on to the next phase. Otherwise, I'm putting up my leg warmers. It's a bit chilly in here today because it is winter. Let's get ready. Let's get cozy. I'm getting cozy. You can get cozy. And I want you to relax, make yourselves comfortable. Maybe you want to darken the room that you're in or wear an eye mask. Most important thing is to be comfortable. And the more awake you are, even though you're comfortable and relaxed, the more you will get from this journey. So let's begin getting super comfortable. Starting to take some long, deep breaths. Each time you breathe out, just releasing any tension. The gongs are going to make lots of different noises. This is a wonderful assistant to helping the brain relax. And when the brain relaxes, our shamanic brain wakes up. We go into a state of hypnosis or meditation. Each time I play, the gongs make different noises and I never quite know what's going to come out. But each time it's perfect for whatever we need. They're shaking every cell of our body up, helping us to reform and realign in the best way for us. Now I want you to begin to soften into your body. Let's tune in from the top of our heads down to the tips of our toes, just noticing what's comfortable and what might need to relax a little more. Softening down through the forehead, softening into the eyes and the muscles around the eyes, softening into the cheeks and the jaw and the mouth and the tongue, softening into the neck and the shoulders, softening into the arms, the forearms, the hands and the fingers. Softening down into the chest, the back, the muscles either side of the spine and spreading across through the rib cage. Allowing your chest to expand. Each time you breathe in, breathing in love, breathing out peace. Allow the relaxation to spread all the way down into the abdomen and the lower abdomen. Allow it to spread into the lower back, the hips, down into the pelvis, and then down through the legs, the thighs, the calves, the shins, the ankles, the feet and the toes now. Now as this energy expands of relaxation, we can also start to relax our minds. So if you would like to start to imagine your mind as completely empty, like the void of space. Imagine your mind completely black, except for one tiny white light right in the middle. A little tiny star right in the center of your mind. Acts a little bit like a shooting star. It starts to move through the void towards you, getting bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter. Expanding out into your mind until it fills up that void of darkness with its light. And then it starts to move out into the rest of you, into your neck, your shoulders, into the features of your face and your hair, into your arms, your hands and fingers, down through your back, your chest, your abdomen and your lower abdomen, cleansing through all the layers of the body, cleansing through the organs, the tissues, the fluids, the chakras, the meridians, moving all the way through, down into the pelvis, the lower abdomen, down through the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, shins, ankles, feet and toes. So now you are full of white light from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Now let's expand that white light out of us and fill up the whole of our aura, the pokpo that we talked about earlier and we cleansed. Let's fill it up with that white light too, so that we're standing inside a bubble of pure white light. Now let's expand our white light to fill up the whole of the room that we're in. Now when you fill up your room with your white light, imagine it's becoming like a second skin and it can sense the energy of the objects, the beings in the space that you're in. Then it expands to fill up the whole of the building that you're in. Maybe you're living in a big building of lots of different flats. Maybe you're in a house. Maybe you're actually managing to do this outside. So fill up the garden that you're in. Now let's expand our white light around the entire planet. Let's give Mama Earth a big hug. Imagine that you're wrapping your arms around Mother Earth and you're giving her the biggest hug, sending your love and your light to Mother Earth, thanking her for everything that she's gifted you with, the food, the shelter, and life itself. Sending our love to all the beings on earth, the human beings, the animal beings, the plant spirit beings, the mushrooms, the bacteria, the landscapes, the mountains, the valleys, the oceans, the rivers, the deserts, the forests. Sending our love to the urban environments. Perhaps they're the parts that need it most. To the cities, the towns, the villages, the places where people are struggling, the places where the animals or the plants or the landscapes are suffering. Let's try and raise the vibration on earth. Let's do that together now. Now let's start to come back to being just us again. Let's start to draw our energy field back into the building or the garden that you're in. Now let's draw it back into the room that you're in. Now let's draw it back so you're sensing the aura around you, an arm's length around you. Now let's draw it back within the physical body so we're sensing where we begin and end as a physical being again, where our skin is. And now let's draw it all the way back into the mind's eye so it becomes that tiny sparkle of pure white light right in the center of the mind, in the void. Now we're going to prepare to go on a journey. So I want you to remember or think about where you want to go now on your journey to begin the descent into the lower realm. Is it a place in nature that's close by? Perhaps it's a mountain that you visited on a holiday. Wherever you want to go, allow that little white light now to leave your head and fly out through the top of the head, through the crown chakra, It's attached by a silver thread, but it leaves your body, it leaves the building or the space that you're in, and it's scooped up by a golden mist. This golden mist protects you and helps you to fly like a magical carpet would across the landscapes towards the place in nature where you're going. Imagine yourself now flying across the landscapes, across the urban environments, across the rivers, across the oceans, across the forests or the fields, the mountains, the valleys, deserts or forests, all the way. Now you start to see the place where you're going to land coming into view. Let's start to move down now into that landscape, starting to descend like an aeroplane coming into land, floating down gently. We feel ourselves connect with the earth again, our feet touch the ground, and just notice how that feels. What texture is beneath your feet? Are you standing on sand or earth or rock or grass or leaves? What sensation can you perceive? Perhaps there are other sensations as well. The smell, the temperature against your skin. Maybe there's a gentle breeze or a storm. Noticing what time of day, what time of night it is here. Now you look around you for the portal, the way to go down into the lower realm. So look around and just notice, perhaps you've done this before, so there's an obvious portal that you use quite often. Or if this is your first time, or you've turned up somewhere new for a change, just checking in, noticing if there's somewhere obvious that's calling you. And remembering that this is your imagination that we're working with, so you can create with your mind what you wish to. Do you want to create a door in a tree like a magical fairy door? Perhaps there's a spiral staircase that will lead down from that doorway. Or perhaps, like me, you want to fall like Alice in Wonderland through a muddy slide. Now let's start to walk towards that portal, and the golden mist subsides and releases us into the space, allowing us to step towards the portal now. Get to the place where you're going to move through the portal, and we'll all go together on the count of 3, and we'll dive through that portal. 1, 2, 3, let's go through the portal. Going down and round and down and round and down and round, going deeper and deeper and deeper. Feeling yourself descend, feeling your consciousness shift as you go deeper into this landscape. Deeper and deeper through the layers of the earth, through the roots of the trees, through the spongy layers of earth, through the tough rock or the crystal caves, until we come out together now into the lower realm landscape. Now as we're entering into the lower realm landscape, sometimes it's a bit dark, especially if you're new to this. So remember, this is your imagination. You can light a torch or a lantern. Perhaps you've come out into a cave, but you can see the exit of the cave because there's light there and you want to walk towards that light. That's all good too. Finding your way now to be in the light, in the lower realm. And now let's all call for our spirit animal guide for today. So we're calling, the word for this is usually called a power animal, an animal which gives you power. So let's call for our power animal together now. Calling for our power animal, calling for our power animal, calling for our power animal to guide us to meet the spirit of Cailleach today. Now it's absolutely fine if more than one animal comes. You might want to check in with each animal that comes. And for those of you who haven't had an animal show up, remember, it's your imagination. You can decide, who do you want to call? You can create that connection yourself. Sometimes this helps in the beginning stages of shamanism when you're just getting used to journeying and trusting your own imagination. So asking your power animal, are you my guide today? And you might want to ask 3 times if you're unsure. Connecting with your power animal. If you are in communication with an animal that says it's not your guide today, then ask them if they know where your guide is. Maybe they can point you in the right direction. Maybe they need to take you to meet that guide. Perhaps you're just not quite in the right place. And then connecting with that animal. As you're connecting with that animal, notice what special qualities the animal has. Is it a nocturnal animal? Does it prefer to be out in the day? Is it vegetarian? Does it eat meat? What special gifts does this animal have? As you connect with this animal, what does it teach you about yourself? Now we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward to meet Cailleach herself. So I want you to ask your power animal today to take you on a walk, or perhaps your animal flies or swims, to go on a journey with your animal to meet the spirit of Cailleach. So allow yourself to wander through the landscape in whichever way is appropriate for you to connect. To wander a little while, or they may already be with you. And just remembering the same story with the goddess as she appears to you, you can always check in, are you the spirit of Cailleach? Notice how they appear to you and what that means to you. What's the significance of the symbolic way that she chooses to manifest for you within this imagination journey. Now I want you to connect with her, to ask her if you have any specific questions about where you are in your life at the moment, the paths you're taking at the moment. What blind spots she can show you for you to work with to help you to be more whole, more happy, more healthy. Perhaps you're looking for healing. You can ask her for some support with that healing process. Perhaps you're looking for healing for another, not even you. And that's also wonderful and works very well when we channel for others. And we can share the healing of of the gongs and the ceremony with others too, virtually, in that way. So now I'm going to leave you for a little while and play gongs for you so that you can explore your own personal connection with Cailleach and noticing what it brings up for you, what feelings, what stories, what truths. And maybe you can come back more focused, more clear-headed. After the journey. time for us to return. So I want you to focus in on your connection with Cailleach one more time and ask her what she would like from us when we develop a connection with our spirit friends, and we ask them for their help, for their support, their guidance. We need to work in a reciprocal way, in that we need to offer something in return. And so maybe she would like a gift, an offering, a service in return. So just ask Cailleach what she would like. And then in some way you can honor that gift or that service. Remembering we're working with our imaginations, so if you wish to gift her a crystal, you can offer her a crystal within the ceremony, within the imaginary space. Thank Cailleach now for all her support, all her wisdom, for her healing, whatever's come through for you today. Thank your power animal for the guidance, the support, the wisdom that they've offered you. And anybody else, anything else which has come through during this journey, giving your gratitude now. It's time for us to return home. Ask your power animal to guide you back to the portal, the place where you first entered this landscape. Start wandering back through the landscape, remembering the way you came. It's always best to go the way we came. Now. In a moment I will call you home, but just again checking in with your power animal and asking them if they would like a gift as a thank you for their support and their help today. Maybe it would be some food, or maybe it would just be a hug or some other action. Before you come home, I want to let you know that you can call on your power animal at any time. You can invite your power animal to come with you into the middle realm, either now or at a later date, at any point, just by imagining them walking with you. Imagine when you might need that kind of energy, that kind of assistance in your life. Know that they'll be there for you if you call on them. Now you've made this allegiance with them. So let's start to come home, thanking your power animal. Feel the cord, the silver cord of light that connects you. That Tinkerbell fairy version of you, the consciousness, pulling you home, tightening and reeling you in, so that you start to be pulled upwards, up and round and up and round and up and round through the portal, through the layers of the earth, the rock, the crystal caves, the moist earth and the roots of trees, all the way back till you pop out through the crust of the earth, and then you're back in your place in nature. The golden mist comes and helps you, and it scoops you up and starts to carry you across the landscapes again, across the fields, across the forests, across the valleys, the mountains, the oceans and the rivers, the deserts, all the way back across the urban environments, the countryside, until you see the place where you live, where your body is resting. And you come back down now into land, into the space where your body is resting. The golden mist subsides. You come back through your crown chakra, entering your body again, feeling your physical body again fully. Sometimes it's helpful to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take some deep breaths, have a stretch. Now, as we're coming back from a deeper state of consciousness into a lighter state of consciousness, it's really helpful to try and recall as much information as you can in this phase, in this luminal space. I'm going to leave you very soon so that you can journal, so you can connect in with the journey that you've just been on in as much detail as possible and reflect on it and journal. I really encourage you to journal. Write as much down and then go back to it later today or tomorrow or even in a week or a month's time or a year's time and reflect on it and integrate the teachings. Come up with one action that you can take that demonstrates that you're integrating the teachings of this journey to really concrete the offering that you are inviting in through this ceremony to yourself as a gift to you. Okay, so now we're going to close the sacred space. We're going to do that with my rattle. I'm just going to go around and say goodbye to all the beings that joined us in our ceremony. In the same way as we opened, we'll close. And then I'm going to leave you to get on with your journaling process and your integration process. So I'll begin in the East. Spirits of the East, we thank you. We thank you for the dawn, the rising sun, the fire, and the new beginning. We thank our friends, Condor and Eagle, for helping us to see with clarity and protecting us under their wings today. We thank you and release you. Aho. Connecting with our friends in the south, the water, the flow of life, the day and the warmth of the noon sun. The spirit of Snake, thank you for teaching us how to shed the past and how to be soft with Mother Earth herself as we walk heartbeat to heartbeat with our mother. We thank you and release you. Aho. Thanking our friends in the west, the dusk, the setting sun, the earth, the fertility of life, and Mama Jaguar, who teaches us to be brave as we face our shadows, coming back into the light for healing and integration to become whole again. We thank you and release you. Aho. Connecting with our friends in the north, the night, the bright moon shining, the air, clarity of thought, hummingbird, our ancestors, and of course the goddess Cailleach. Thank you, Cailleach, so much for everything that you've brought to our journey and our ceremony today. Thank you for the wisdom, the healing, the power that you bring through for us. We love you and we release you all in the north. Aho. Now we've released everything in the horizontal plane. We come down to the earth beneath us and we thank Mother Earth and all our earth relations. Thank you so much for joining us in ceremony today, and we release you from this circle. Connecting up with the sky and the cosmic realm, we thank you, Father Sky, and we release you. We thank you, Grandmother Moon and Grandfather Sun and the star nations and our cosmic realm relations. We love you and release you. And we thank Great Spirit. You have 1,000 names, yet are still the unnameable one. Thank you for this creative energy that flows through us and all that is. Thank you for this matrix of experience and existence and our place herein. Thank you, and we release you from this ceremony. Aho. And I thank you so much for doing this important work. Your healing will ripple out and heal other people too. And I truly believe that we can heal this world if we heal our hearts first. It has to begin here. So thank you for doing this ceremony with me today. Let the healing ripple out and touch all that we love. And I release you from the ceremony today too. Now before I go, I want to remind you to like and subscribe this channel, which supports the work that we do to offer free cacao ceremonies on the internet. I want to very much thank the people that donate to help me to continue to do this work. I have many offerings that are separate to this free online ceremony. If you'd like to check out the website, And do get in touch if you'd like any help with integration or would just like to share your journey. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful experience. And I look forward to journeying with you again at our next ceremony very soon. Goodbye for now.